Hello, Chucky and I welcome you to my home studio and to this no excuse total body weight circuit workout. A couple of things that you might want before we get started is you might want to have a mat or some kind of padding for underneath you. A chair or a bench, but if you don't have one that will work, it's okay. I'll show you a modification for that. And if you have some sort of weight, I'm going to use some kettlebells, but if you have a kettlebell, a dumbbell, or even just a heavy object in your home, you can use. But this workout specifically is meant really not to have a lot of equipment, because I give this to clients for when we are not able to work out together, or on the days where we don't work out together, or days we can't get to the gym, like right now, and are also when they travel. And call it the no excuse workout, because all you really do need is yourself to get this workout done. So take a moment to get what you need, and we'll get started first with about a 10-minute dynamic mobility sequence. Okay? Going to get us started by coming toward the back edge of your mat, hips back towards your heels into a child's pose position, and then come forward, taking your chest forward over your wrist, lift your chin up into a cobra, and we're just going to flow back and forth between these two moves, child's pose to cobra. Opening the chest, slide those shoulders down away from your ears. All right, now sit back to your heels. Take your left forearm on the floor, your right hand behind your head, and we'll do mid-back rotations. Lift that right elbow to the ceiling and then tap it back down. Follow that elbow with your gaze. I do every one of these for anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, switch sides. Everything is slow and controlled. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Okay, now come to all fours, your wrists right underneath your shoulders, your knees right underneath your hips, and we are going to do some hip circles. Take your right leg and draw a big circle, tap the kneecap down, and then bring it back around. Tap it down and reverse, working to open up the hip joint. Now switch sides, same thing on the left side. Warming up the hip joint, getting it prepared for all the work that lies ahead. Five seconds left. All right, now step the right leg forward, three-way hip flexors. Going to shift the hips forward, raise the arms overhead, and then shift back, forward and back. The idea here is to get as much movement out of the hips as you can. At first, if you're tight, it might be hard to get some movement, but as you warm up, you'll get a little better. Now, arms out to the side, palms forward, shifting the hips side to side with reach overs. Chucky would like to show some exercises for your dogs also. He's got his ball. He's showing you how to play catch with yourself, which is a favorite game of his. All right, right here in front of the chest, and rotate side to side. Now, extend that right leg, come forward, hip hinge position. Place your hands either on your thigh, your shin, or if you can, bring those fingertips to the floor. And from this position, we're going to do some cat and cow. Chin toward the chest, spine rounded, pelvis tucked, and then extend the spine. Lift the head, extend the spine. Tilt the pelvis, and just go back and forth between cat and cow. When a lot of my students start doing this move, they feel like they can't get much movement out at all. They always say they just feel like they're moving their head back and forth. Once you warm up though, maybe you'll start to feel a little bit of movement. All right, we're going to do all of that on the left side. Place your left leg forward. Go lay down. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what this looks like from the side view, forward and back. Okay, hands out to the side, palms forward, and shift side to side. So you really try to shift those hips as much as you can without tipping over. Now, hands at the chest and rotate. Reach kind of at a diagonal. You're reaching that arm and rotating that torso side to side. Now extend your left leg, hinge forward, place your hands on your thigh, your shin, or fingertips to the floor, and cat and cow. Round the spine, extend the spine. All right, now bring that leg back, come to all fours, walk your hands out a step in front of your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift your hips into a down dog, sink those heels, hips nice and high, chest toward the thighs, and we're going to walk the dog. Just bend the right knee, sink the left, bend the left, sink the right, just walk it back and forth. Stretching out those calves. Now sink both those heels, and we're going to go into a down dog to a pigeon. So start in the down dog position with those hips towards the ground, and then just take that right knee forward and bring your forehead and your nose to the mat. And then sweep that right leg back, sink into down dog again, and the left side. Left knee between the hands, forehead and nose to the ground, sweep it back. Sink those heels. This is one of the more challenging ones in the dynamic warm-up. So if you can't do this, it's okay. Just stay in that down dog position and come back. Now drop to your knees and come onto your stomach. I'm going to turn this way again so you can see what's going on. Arms out to the side, forehead on the floor. I'm going to curl my right heel toward my hip, bring my right hand in on those fingertips, and then I'm going to roll to my left side. That left arm extended out for a shoulder opener. Roll to the other side. I'm going to roll over on Chucky. And just side to side. One of the challenges, obviously, of working out at home is dealing with pets, spouses, children. So Chucky would like to demonstrate that here today, since he will not leave my side. And bring that back to center. Now come and sit on to the mat with your feet out in front of you. Have to get Chucky's ball for him. Go lay down, Chucky. All right, feet out in front, hands back, shoulders back, and then just side to side. Knee drops, stretching out the outer thighs on each side. All right, and then come back to the center. We're going to move to the strength portion of our workout now. And the first circuit will have 4 exercises. We'll do 3 rounds of each exercise, and we'll be 30 seconds on, 15 seconds in between. Right now, you can go ahead and just get yourself a drink, and I'm going to go through the variations, the progressions of these 4 exercises. So we are going to start with a push-up. Oops, kick Chucky. Lie down, bud. Okay, so the first variation is a no hands. Nice long line from your knees through the crown of the head. Just bend those elbows and bring your chest all the way to the ground. Lift your hands and then press yourself back up. So this is a form of a push-up that I teach for people who have always been challenged with bringing their chest all the way to the floor. They do those little tiny push-ups. Most of the time that's because you have your hands too close together, so make sure you take your hands out probably wider than the mat so that your chest has room to get all the way down. You bring your chest to the floor, lift those hands with power, push yourself back up. Second level is a hover push-up. Same position on the knees, and you're going to just lower down and touch the chest to the floor and then press yourself back up again. All right, so you just come down, hover for a second, and then press back up. And then the third level, this one has been very helpful for all of us who struggle with going from knee to being able to do toe push-ups. So it is the toe, no hand version. So you're all the way up on the toes. Again, you're going to lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Lift those hands and power lift yourself all the way back up again. Now, if you can't do any of those progressions, you can always do a wall push-up instead, okay? And of course, if you're able to bang out all 3 rounds, toe push-ups, hovering the chest to touch the floor, then be my guest, do those toe push-ups all along. The next is a squat, body weight squat. Take those feet hip to shoulders distance apart, toes pointing forward. I just bring my hands up right in front of my chest, and we are going to drop our hips back, weight into the heels and the outsides of the feet. I kind of bring my elbows down towards my knees. Make sure you keep your torso up. We do not want to hinge the torso forward on our squats. We want to drop that tailbone down low. And then, of course, stand back up, squeezing those glutes at the top of the movement. In later progressions, I'll show you how to add weight for a goblet squat to that movement. Next, our sit-up. Third exercise in this circuit. Heels on the floor, arms overhead, knees bent, anchoring in to your heels and into your hips. And we're going to come up, touch those toes, and slowly roll yourself back down again. Arms overhead, add a little momentum to help you, give you the oomph to get back up. Second level is hands crossed right in front of the chest. Lower down slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, and then back up. Elbows to touch the knee. Again, slow and controlled. Third level, hands behind the head, elbows back. Again, lower down. Bring it back up. Try to keep those elbows back. A lot of people really bring the elbows forward and the head forward to help them get up on that. So if you have to do that, maybe stick with level 2. All right, and our fourth exercise for this circuit is a body weight thruster, pretty much a deadlift to an overhead press. Again, we got those feet about hips distance apart. You're going to hinge the hips back, bring that torso forward, and bring your fingertips down towards the floor. You can't go that low without rounding your back. You'll just come up here to about the knees. You're going to touch and then lift overhead. Again, later, I'll add some weight to that one. Okay, so that's the 4 exercises in the first circuit. We're going to start off. It's going to be 9 minutes of work in this circuit. We're counting down. We're going to start with those no-hand push-ups. Hands nice and wide. Hips forward. 3. Belly button to the spine. Core engaged. Lower and power up. Inhaling through the nose, out through the mouth. Everything slow and controlled, trying to do the most perfect reps possible. All right, second exercise in this circuit is the body weight squat. Lower and lift. Squat down low. Stand up tall. Here we go. All right, keep squatting. Get your butt. Nice. Weight into the heels, chest and chin forward. Shoulders back and down, core engaged, all the same rules apply. Your sit-up, knees bent, anchor into the heels, arms overhead. Touch those toes and roll all the way back. Nice and slow and controlled. My wood floors are squeaking. Just want you to know that's not my body, it's the floors. All right, fourth exercise in this circuit, the body weight thruster. Deadlift to an overhead press. Hinge those hips back, bring your fingertips to the knees or to the floor, and lift overhead. If you are wanting to up the intensity on this, you can see how easily this could be turned into a jump squat. I'm not going to do that. Don't know if my old house could stand up to that or not. But if you would like to make this a jump squat to add a little more cardio, you can do that. All right, 1 round down, 2 to go. Back to the push-up. This time, you can try the hover push-up. If you can't do the hover, go ahead and go with that no hands push-up again. Nice, good job. All right, back up for the squat. This time, I'm going to grab a kettlebell, hold it in front of me, and turn this into a goblet squat. Kettlebell, dumbbell, heavy object in your home. When you come into the lowered phase, hold for a second, activate those glutes to lift you back up. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Take the momentum out and it makes it more challenging. Nice. Good. To the sit-up now. This time you can try hands across the chest. Head, shoulders, 1 vertebrae at a time. Elbows to the knee. Roll up, roll down. Lots of control. Of course, if you cannot do a full sit-up, you could always just do a crunch through all 3 rounds, lifting your head and shoulders and back up off the floor as high as you can, slowly lowering back down. All right, back to the thruster. Going to do the thruster this time with the kettlebell. I'm going to tap it to the floor, keeping my chest high, my back long, and reach it overhead. Tap and reach. Nice. Isn't this fun? Just like being in the gym, working out together. Except for Chucky. The reason why I never bring him to work with me. All right. 2 rounds down. 1 to go. Toe, no hands, push up. Feet wide, lower down, lift those hands and bring yourself back up again. try to lift your whole body weight at the same time. But if you can't, I understand. You're just working towards having the strength to do that. Sometimes it looks more like a little worm, where your upper body comes first, then your hips. More like that. But it will come with time. Goblet squat, gonna use a little heavier kettlebell this time. The heavier the weight, the harder, of course, you will work. Come down, hold for 1 to 2 seconds, lift back up again, squeeze those glutes. Keep that torso long, don't hinge forward in your squats. Nice. All right, to the floor. Sit up. Hands behind the head this time. Elbows back. Come all the way up, all the way down. If I shut Chucky out of the room, he would annoy us by barking the whole time, so this is actually the best option, is just trying to deal with him. Probably gonna end up laying down and taking a nap soon. All right, back up, thruster. Last one. This circuit, using my heavier weight, bringing it down, torso long, lift overhead. And bring it down. All right, that was circuit number 1. Get a drink of water and I'll get set up for circuit number 2. Dun, 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 dun. We're done with that one. All right, the second circuit, may want to bring in a chair. We are going to do a exercise number 1, right side single leg deadlift. You can use your chair for balance. You're going to lift the right leg up, right fingertips touch the floor, right in front of your left toes, and stand back up again. You can use the hand on the chair, or you can take that arm out to the side, or hand on the thigh, whatever helps you have the best balance in that single leg deadlift. Well, that's one of my favorite moves. It works. Strength, because you've got all your weight into one leg, balance and flexibility. So I really like that one because it puts all those things together. Next, a tricep dip. Go to the edge of your chair, roll your shoulders back, slide your hips forward off the chair. The closer your legs are to you, the easier it will be. The more extended they are, the more challenging it will be. But you're just going to bend your elbows and drop your weight down, straighten those arms, and lift back up again. Now, some people cannot do this because of shoulder or wrist limitations. So if you cannot do the tricep dip, you can do an overhead extension instead. You can take a dumbbell, a kettlebell, or you can just use body weight. Bring your hands together, back of your head, hug those elbows in tight, extend up and back down again. I'll be using both of those versions in this workout. Your third exercise will be the single leg deadlift, same that you did on the right, you'll do on the left. And then your last one will be a plank. Okay, so on your knees, your forearms on the floor, shoulders right over the elbows, hands together, belly button to the spine, press those hips forward, and then you can do it modified from your knees, or you just pop right up to your toes. You want to keep your hips and shoulders level. A lot of people will sag into the lower back, or they'll lift their hips too far up high. You just want to be nice and even with that torso. Okay, that's the 4 exercises in circuit number 2. Another 9 minutes of work. First time will just be body weight only. Give Chucky a little exercise. All right, 15-second countdown. Right side, single leg deadlift.
3, 2, 1.
Balance is very challenging for a lot of people, but it really doesn't get any better unless you work on it. Keep that belly button to the spine, keep the core engaged. That really does help to maintain some balance, some stability. Lay down, Chucky. All right, how about a tricep dip or an overhead extension? Hands on the frame of the chair, shoulders back, walk it forward, lower, and lift. Don't let the elbows wing out to the side too much. Have to watch that. Saw mine winging out a little bit. Have them drive straight back. If you try a couple and it doesn't work for you, that's okay. Sit on the chair and try that overhead extension instead. Nice. Okay, left side single leg deadlift. Left foot forward, right leg forward, left foot back, left fingertip right in front of the toes. And bring it back up again. Keep going. I gotta move over a little. Again, core engaged, body nice and long, nice. Okay, now for plank. On the knees, elbows right underneath the shoulders, lift up, head long. Another thing that people do is they let their head really hang in the plank. Lift that head, neck nice and long, shrug those shoulders away from the ears, right down your back. If you need to come down on your knees for modification, do that. You can pop back up whenever you're ready. All right, round number 1, down. Go for round number 2 this time. I'm going to use my kettlebell. Right side, single leg deadlift. I always seem to do a little better actually when I use weight on the deadlifts. It seems to kind of help ground and stabilize me a little bit. Just barely tap that down and bring it back up again. body nice and long. Try to keep that back leg straight. It's hard to do if you have tight hamstrings. Okay, you can do the dip, or if you have a weight, you can try this overhead extension. Hug those elbows in tight to the head and extend those arms overhead. Bring them back down. Nice. Always like to work those triceps. Well, don't know if we really like to work the triceps, but we know we need to work those triceps. All right, left side, single leg deadlift. Left leg back, weight in the left hand or fingertips on the left hand. Ready, and lift. I'm having a hard time with my decorations back here. So if you have limited space, as I do, because I have a very small house, you just kind of have to make do, don't we? But we can. All right, and plank. I think one of the things about being fit is also being flexible, not only of body, but of mind. And I think this time of isolation is going to really let us know exactly how flexible of mind we are. Now this one, if you want to do something different, you can drop your knees to the ground and then pop them right back up again. Lower and lift. All right, 2 rounds down, 1 round to go. Let me try my heavier kettlebell this time. Right side, single leg deadlift, tap, and lift. All right, I'm going to go back to the dips this time. You can do dips or overhead extension. It's up to you. Going to take my feet out a little bit further, make it more challenging. Roll those shoulders back, lower, and lift. Try to keep those elbows from winging out to the side on both the overhead extension and on the dips. All right, left side single leg deadlift. I think what's bothering Chucky the most is he can't figure out who I'm talking to. Now he's just going to stare at the camera and watch me exercise. All right, 1 exercise left. That's the plank. We are going to do a version that I really like called the saw this time. Into your plank position, shift your weight forward, shoulders come in front of the elbows, Shift your weight back, shoulders behind the elbows, forward and back. If you don't like that one, just do one of the ones we did before. Very good, bud. Almost done. Bear with me, Chucky. All right. Good job. And we are done with our 2 circuits. Come stand up. And we are going to finish up with some stretching. Arms out to the, actually inhale those arms over the head. Exhale, bring those arms out to the side, palms forward. Bring that right arm across, keep it nice and straight. Left arm under, pull that arm back toward the chest. Good job. And switch. Now this workout, because it's a strength workout, you could do this every day. It's about 30 minutes of the strength part. Or you could do it every other day. Combine some of Susan's cardio videos that she's posted in between. Or if the weather was nice, can you believe that snow we got here in Missouri this morning? That was crazy. But if the weather is nice, it'd be a great idea to get outside and go for a walk, a run, a bike ride. That's going to be very important to help us all keep our sanity during this time, is getting outside when the sun is shining and getting some outdoor exercise. Out to the side, palms up, thumbs back, reach them back for a chest stretch. Flip those palms over, bring it forward, interlace those hands, push them forward from the chest, round the spine, chin toward the chest. And then lift overhead, up, and bring them down. Take them, interlace behind the back, extend, lift them up away from your hips for a good shoulder stretch if you can, and then release. Step your right leg forward and your left leg back. Oops. On the toes first, and then heels down. Bend your right knee and shift forward, keeping your chest up, your shoulders back, getting a nice calf stretch. If you can bend that back knee, keep pressing the heel down. That changes your calf stretch up a little bit. And now lift up onto the toe, tuck your pelvis, and drop that back knee straight down for a hip flexor stretch. Again, torso up, shoulders back. From this position, try to step up into a single leg balance, just to show that you can. And then extend, hinge, hamstring stretch. You can stay right there, or you can slide that hand down, left hand down to the shin. Reach for the toes if you can. Look to the floor right out in front of your toes so you don't arch that neck. Take an inhale, exhale, and roll it back up. Now, keep that left leg forward. Step your right foot back. Start on the toes. Roll through the heel. Lunge, bend that left knee, and shift the weight forward. Again, torso high, shoulders back, core engaged. Nice little calf stretch. Now bend that back knee and keep that heel pressing down if you can. If you don't have flexibility in your ankle, you probably cannot do that. All right, come up onto the toe, lift, tuck, and drop. Torso up, shoulders back. And from this position here, we're going to step up, single leg, standing balance. Can you do that? Maybe on a wobbly leg now. And extend out, hip hinge. Slide it down, look to the floor, right in front of your toes, or look at Chucky sitting right in front of me. All right, roll it back up. Bring those feet together. Going to finish up with a hanging forward fold. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, sweep forward. Let those fingertips dangle to the floor. Just see where they touch. Let the head hang nice and loose. Crown of the head toward the floor. And then interlace the arms right in front of you, letting those elbows hang towards the floor. On every exhale, we're going to sink into those elbows a little more. Deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale. Release those hands. See where they are now. Are your fingertips touching or are your palms flat? We're going to ragdoll our way up. Bend your knees, chin toward the chest, round the spine, and one vertebrae at a time. We're going to roll up. Take a big inhale. Exhale and release. All right. Thanks for joining me. Let's see. About 45 minutes. I'm going to check and see how many calories I have there. 150 calories, not so bad. And got a good warm up and cool down in there, so good job. Make sure after you watch this that you hit subscribe just below the video on the YouTube channel so that whenever we post new videos, you'll get those notifications. It doesn't cost you anything, you just subscribe to your favorite channel so that you get those notifications. Everybody have a good day, and I'll see you back here soon. Bye.